What mathematics is for, the correlation of mathematics to the real world. Every corner of this globe and everywhere we look, nature seems to surround us. Nature is full of patterns, and when we connect with them, the more we appreciate the beauty behind them. The pattern of nature is a mystery, and almost always a profound one. Math is great and lets us solve puzzles. It's a more or less structured way to figure out the rules and structures that were found behind some trend or regularity, and then use other rules and structures to explain what's going on.
In the growth of knowledge of nature, mathematics coexists with us. In reality, mathematics has developed alongside our understanding of nature, helping one another.
Time after time, mathematics is evolving, creating discoveries that could change the course of the world. In particular, Johannes Kepler and his discovery on a planetary orbit using astronomical observation and mathematics as a tool to conclude the planetary motion on its orbit in an ellipsis manner. These discoveries later on results in the enlightenment on the general theory of curves and geometric rules, which has later on helped us apply not only in the field of astronomy but to the real world. It emphasizes that discoveries in math create an endless ripple of knowledge. Similarly, when Isaac Newton, an English mathematician and physicist, described the forces that act on an object when in motion mathematically. This breakthrough in the field of mathematics and science opens another area that measures acceleration. It stated that acceleration is a rate of change in velocity concerning time, that it has a physical quantity both for magnitude and direction. It then helped Newton to derive from this to what famous the three law of motion, which he used to explain the motion of physical object and system later on.
As the acceleration and rates in change become intense and complicated, Newton himself, together with a self-taught German mathematician, comes up with a solution, the birth of calculus. They invented another branch of mathematics that deals with providing a solution to natural phenomena using the other law of nature they found: heat, sound, magnetism, sound, light, electricity, which means what does the rate of change means. Physicists uses it to understand and predict the way nature behaves. With great success, mathematicians is finding its uses and how it should work with a mathematical theory.
DNA can be found in all living organisms, including us humans. It contains all the genetic codes that are required for us to grow, to function, and to reproduce. Different mathematical pieces were utilized to identify the double helical we found in DNA structure that includes the Fibonacci sequence correlating to its composition. An example of the application of mathematics in DNA is visible in the shell formation of snails. Mathematics is responsible for the chemical reaction and molecular structure of the shell that helps the snail to survive. Furthermore, the computer simulation of the evolution of the eye by Nielsen and Pulger is one of the most excellent examples of participation of mathematics towards biology, which calculate the pattern of changes, cause of evolution pertaining to the eye, and to support Charles Darwin's principle, the natural selection.
The most common and mathematical application that is present in nature is the Fibonacci sequence and the divine number known as the golden ratio. Almost everything that can be found in nature has something to do with this sequence. Nature itself, that includes plants, animals, and even heavenly bodies, manifest in these sequences. It shows that everything that possesses these patterns can provide the beautiful pattern of number that they display and pieces of evidences that indeed Fibonacci numbers are non-fictional. Examples that can be found in nature to represent Fibonacci numbers are from the pattern in seeds arrangement, in the formation of fruits, and even to the growth points on branches. It can also apply to the facial structure of a human face.
The relationship of mathematics help us to identify the patterns underlies in the Constitution. It described the dynamics of the solar system. For example, understanding the relationship of Jupiter's natural satellites, Europea and Ganymede cycles using the occurrence of a simple ratio between the periods of revolution of two bodies and about single primary the resonance.
A further purpose of mathematician is prediction. We know as much about weather mechanics as we do about tide mathematics, but the weather is intrinsically unpredictable. The role of mathematics goes beyond mere prophecy. Mathematics as a means to predict the motion of heavenly bodies that helps astronomers to predict lunar, solar eclipse, and the occurrence of comets.
Mathematics is said to be the gate and key to knowledge. A science is correct only insofar as it employs mathematics. It is according to the famous philosopher Kant. So at its base, all scientific education that does not begin with mathematics is said to be defective. Mathematical ignorance works harm to all knowledge. Those who are unaware of mathematics cannot learn other worldly things. Perhaps, what's worse, those who are therefore ignorant cannot comprehend to their own ignorance and try no solution. Thus, Kant says, insofar as it is mathematical, a natural science is a science, and by perfecting all of science, mathematics has played a very important role in building up modern society.
What we can learn from this is that mathematics is useful as how we understand nature itself. Human as we are, curiosity will always be with us, pushes us to question and to understand things that surrounds us. Mathematics has been there for us to utilize its wonders, to come up with information for this world to be sensible for us. It is not only there to solve X, but it's also about figuring out why. Mathematics often refers to as a tool, but it surprisingly depicts the true nature of what a good friend is, to have someone we can rely on when times are confusing.
In this new age of science and technology, the priority is focused on research such as physics, chemistry, biology, medicine, and engineering. Mathematics, which by every definition is a science, is also an important and essential method used by all of these sciences. All these sciences, in truth, only advise with the help of mathematics. Therefore, it is properly noted, mathematics is a science of all science and art of all arts. We can agree that mathematics together with mathematician has served their purpose successfully. The only way for us is to show gratitude, is to continue and expand our understanding in mathematics for us to prepare for new challenges.